Alright, well, here is the next car project. This is a 83 Cutlass wagon, and first thing you can see is, well, it may not be the first thing you see. The first thing you see is probably just how rough it is, and it is rough. There are a bunch of body dings in it, most of which I can take care of. Some of them I may need some professional help with. The tailgate is a lot nastier than I thought it was going to be, but I think I'll be able to slap and dolly that out. And right along up here in the front fender, you can see that little wrinkle right there in front of the opening. But this is the killer. That is a real crush right there, and I don't know if I have the talent with a slapstick dolly to bring that one back around, so we'll see about that one. The bumpers are straight, they're just ugly. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do there. Probably end up narrowing those, and the same here. The trailer hitch, naturally, that's going to leave. I wouldn't pull a bicycle behind that. And the wheels aren't going to make the long haul either. The interior is really rugged. The dash, thankfully they make caps for that, because there's no way I can find a dash for it. But otherwise, everything down from just direct top is straight. It's a gauge car, not idiot lights. The wheel is going to have to be freshened up, but I can actually still use that wheel. And all the plastic trim is all together. There's no, it's not broken or split, not very well put back in when whoever it is was working on it. The headliner is just friggin' ugly, so that's going to be replaced. The color is a really dark maroon, which if it were a lighter maroon I'd be okay, but it's just really dark. I may end up lightening the maroon on all this. And these seats, they're just, well, they're just trash. But well, let's look back here. This is you can see where it's all pretty well used up and faded out, so I'm gonna have to do a little work on those to bring that back. And down here under the wheel, that's where the spare tire is, that's all remarkably clean, and no rust or junk on a nasty ass tire, but it's not rusty or anything, so that's just going to be cleaned up, painted over, and ready to go. And well, of course the wheels, they're not going to make it, but here is where there's going to be a lot of work. And it's also one of the reasons that I bought the car. It has in it a 350 TBI car from a 92 Buick Roadmaster. So of course that's meant to push around a car that weighs 1,000 pounds more than this one. Serpentine setup is in there, but look at this wiring mess in here. It is just ridiculous. And there's a lot of things that are stray ends and loose ends, and since I didn't do this wiring, I don't know exactly where they all went, so that's going to take a lot of fishing just to figure out where everything goes before or what is necessary before I put it all back together. But that can be all straightened out and tidied up, and I don't have to put an engine in it, which is a plus. Underneath, I'm not going to, well, you know what, I am going to get underneath. Let me get up on jack stands and we'll take a look underneath it. And I also forgot this part. Like I said, these aren't going to make it, but I got these wheels too. They are, I've never been really crazy about them, but you just don't see them that often anymore, so they may make it to the front line. but they're 15 by 7, and I'd rather them be 8 inches wide. But still, just because I don't see them all the time, that may make them work. But plus, they're just cruddy and rusted, and they're going to take a lot of work to bring those back. But at least I got that option, which will be a lot less expensive than 4 new wheels. All right, here we are under the rear end, and you're going to see a lot of stuff that looks kind of crusty like that. And I've actually wire brushed in quite a few places. That's just a little surface rust and nothing I'm gonna worry about. It's got a Flowmaster in it, but still I don't really like the sound all that much, but it's not so bad I'm gonna do anything with it now. And I'm not sure I can put the airbags in it like I had them on the El Camino, but the whole setup is like the El Camino, so I should be able to do that. Rear end, that pumpkin is a little greasy, but you know, what are you going to do? The amazing thing, let me show you this thing here. This has got the sway bar on it. It's the 13/16s. It's a good sway bar. And I never liked this style, the straight across style. I always liked the one with the loop that goes under the pumpkin. But I just found out that makes it one heck of a lot easier to put a jack under that pumpkin. I like it. It's going to stay. And here you can see when it was converted to electric fuel pump, that's part of that line there, and that's kind of just in where it can be, so that's going to take a little fixing up because it's all just really loose up in there. But here's a nice thing. That transmission hardly leaks. That seal does, but the trans is just really pretty clean for just having a 1,300 mile trip under its belt. The next thing is, look at the oil pan. Clean. It didn't leak anything. 1,300 miles. Everything again is all together, and again kind of crusty, but not so bad. It's got the 1 1/8 sway bar, jounce bars, all that stuff is in it, and the front end's going to need to be redone, but it's not so slacky right now that I'm going to do anything about it right now, though that's definitely in the near future. And here's another thing. You saw where I had that little wrinkle over here. And there's that wrinkle. Up under here you'll see there's no crack in that header. It's all together. But it's just wrinkled right there at that fender. And again, I don't know if I've got the skill necessary to straighten that out, but we're going to give it a shot. And of course you can see just generally dirt road filthy under there.